It's 2:10 p.m. here in Seoul. I'm Yoon Jung-min. We are breaking into our regular programming for a live COVID-19 briefing. The briefing is just about to start. We will be crossing over to the briefing with simultaneous interpretation in English. Today, South Korea reported 452 new coronavirus cases, with most cases concentrated in the capital regions. All but 12 were locally transmitted. Cluster infections continue, and the briefing is just about to start. Have a look.
Let us now begin our regular briefing on the COVID-19 situation here in South Korea for March 20th, Saturday. As of today midnight, we have 440 new local infections and 12 new imported cases. The total caseload now stands at 98,209. And a total of 44,009 tests were conducted yesterday at the testing centers. And we also conducted about 35,900 tests in the metropolitan areas, makeshift testing sites, confirming 65 confirmed patients. We have a total of 102 patients with critical or severe conditions. We had 3 additional fatalities. I extend my deepest condolences to the deceased and the members of the bereaved families. And as for the updates on domestic infections, please refer to the press kit that is given out to you earlier. And as for the epidemiological investigation, we are seeing that at 3C conditions at the workplaces that employ migrant workers, we are seeing increased cluster infections stemming from these workplaces. And we see that the causes of such infection seen as the community and cluster livelihood and community sharing of their living. And we also have seen that many of them have been infected while they were staying here in South Korea. And as for the preemptive testing that we have been rolling out to these migrant workers, we have been carrying out on them as for the risk factors, and these principles will remain the same as going forward. And we believe that the preemptive testing is also very effective in curbing the current third wave, and it is also very important for us to lowering the number of daily tallies. And we believe that in this process, we do not have any carry out of these quarantine measures by discriminating anyone else, including that of the foreigners. And going forward, we will also make sure that there are no further discrimination going forward as well. And as for the status on COVID-19 vaccinations, as of March 20th midnight, we had 15,132 more people being administered with their first dose of COVID-19 vaccine. And we have a total of 675,426 people who have been finished with their first dose of COVID-19 vaccine. This is 84.3% of the first priority group. And at the nursing hospitals, we also completed the inoculation to about 87%. And also the care facilities, we also have about more than 90,000 people being administered with the drug. And also about 71% of the target rate for first responders. And as for the general hospitals, we completed 82.2% of our target of inoculation. And as for the COVID-19 hospitals, we completed the inoculation rate of 92.9% as well. And as for the post-inoculation adverse responses, here are some updates. We had 150 new cases of adverse responses being reported, with a total standing at 9,757. Among them, 9,641 are mild and common symptoms which can appear after inoculation, including muscle pain, headache, and light fever. And 89 of them were suspected cases of anaphylaxis. And we had 11 cases of convulsion and also 16 cases of death, which are under investigation. The details of the analysis will be revealed in a transparent manner. And after we rolled out the vaccinations since 26th of February, we also seen a total of 30 cases that have been confirmed with the virus after their inoculation. And out of them, 27 have been administered with the AstraZeneca vaccine, and the rest 3 people have been administered with the Pfizer vaccine. And we have 17 of them being infected after about 8 to 13 days following their inoculation. And we have seen that many of them have been infected immediately after inoculation, meaning that they did not have much time to develop antibodies. And we will be also evaluating the efficacy of the inoculations going forward. And also, as for the COVID-19 hospitals, we will be rolling out our second dose of the vaccines, and centering around the vaccination center at the central vaccination centers. We will be carrying out the vaccines until April, and also in other regions we'll be carrying out the vaccines starting from later March. And also at other regions, rest of the regions, we will be beginning the rollout of the second dose starting from March 29th. And starting from last week, we also had the inoculation given to the people who had to leave the country for essential purposes. And as for these essential purposes who have to leave the country, we are also receiving the applications, and also together we are also looking at the soldiers who need to be provided with vaccinations, as well as because they have to be dispatched in part with the UN peacekeeping troops. And we will be also receiving these applications going forward, and they will be screened by the KDCA and also be inoculated on a timely basis. And also lately we have seen many European countries that have been halting their AstraZeneca vaccines, and here are some updates. And as for the 18th of March, the European Medical Association has said that there is no correlation between the AstraZeneca vaccination and the blood clots, and they have revealed such a conclusion based on their drug analysis and testings, and they see that the AstraZeneca vaccine itself does not have any risks of the blood clots, and they also have concluded that the vaccination, the benefits of vaccination far outweighs those of not receiving these vaccines. And the WHO also recommended that these AstraZeneca vaccines continue going forward. And to this end, here in South Korea, starting from 3 p.m. today, we will be carrying out expert panel on inoculation. We will be looking at the adverse effects, adverse responses following inoculation, and we will be also going over these reported adverse effects that have been reported in other countries, especially in Europe, and they will be discussing these agendas in details. And starting from next week, we will be also beginning our inoculation for high-risk groups, and also these include the seniors aged over 65 at mental hospitals and disability centers and nursing hospitals. And at nursing hospitals, we will be giving out the vaccine starting from the 30th. And also, as for the adverse responses, we will be going on having these precise monitoring, and we will also have a smooth rollout of these vaccinations going forward. And in order to reduce any anxiety over the COVID-19 vaccines, we will be carrying out candid communication of the COVID-19 vaccines based on scientific proof, and we believe that it is our priority to provide you with the latest information on based on scientific evidence and in a transparent manner as well. We will also provide you with necessary details, especially in regards to the statistics. And as for the seniors aged over the age of 65, we ask you to also take monitoring of these regular briefings, and also take into consideration the propaganda as well as the campaign programs to be unrolled through the TV broadcasting channels, including the news channels as well. And also for the younger generations, we will be making sure that these campaigns reach them through many digital platforms, and we will also make sure that the inoculation are carried out in a safe manner and transparent manner. We will be cooperating fully with the regional authorities as well. In order to have a full rollout of the vaccines, we will be carrying out close monitoring as well. And we believe that a person has the right to decide on his or her inoculation. However, please note that inoculation can protect yourself from the virus. It is also a very efficient way to protect your loved ones and your friends as well as your acquaintances. And going forward, it is also the only solution to protect your society and your community as well. And if you are an eligible recipient, please receive the inoculation on a day when you have great conditions. And please have a safe weekend as well. Please abide by the quarantine measures and social distancing measures. And even after the inoculation, please wear your face mask, wash your hands on a regular basis, and comply with the quarantine measures. And we believe that abiding by these quarantine measures is the only way for us to return to a state of normalcy as soon as possible. Thank you very much.
설명이 있었습니다. 지금부터 기자님들 보내주신 사전.
That wraps up our coverage of the briefing this afternoon. Thank you for staying with us. We will be back with our regular newscast at 6 p.m. Korea time. Goodbye.